The question that we must answer, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of those who are carrying these illegal guns, wreaking havoc, sex trafficking, harming innocent people, regardless of their documentation? Or are you on the side of hard-working New Yorkers and Americans? I'm clear on which side I'm on. I'm on the side of those who are protected as a cop, state senator, borough president, and now the mayor of the city of New York. That's the side I'm on, and I'm clear on it. And I'm not apologizing for going after those who carry these illegal guns, wreaking havoc on communities. And so those who want to romanticize these characters and make it seem like they are here just to be part of the American dream is not doing armed robberies. The American dream is not discharging guns. The American dream is not shooting at police officers. The American dream is not going into homeless shelters and taking the documentations from innocent people and forcing them into sex trafficking. That's not the American dream. And we're not going to be a safe harbor for criminals.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Darren McCormack. I'm the acting special agent in charge for Homeland Security investigations here in New York. We are here today to announce a sweeping indictment via the Southern District of New York, charging 27 alleged Tren de Aragua gang members with charges ranging from racketeering, sex trafficking, narcotics, robbery, carjacking, and firearms-related offenses.
All right, so 27 TDA charged, 21 in custody, looking for 6 others are on the run. Every member of TDA should be on the run because the Trump administration is committed to removing every single member of TDA and MS-13 from this country. Trump administration has been serious from day one. We're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. And the results of our collaboration, 27 TDA members, and look at the weapons in front of you. This is what collaboration looks like. This is why I've been working with Mayor Adams since November. I never asked the city, NYPD, to be immigration officers. I asked them to work with us on significant public safety threats and national security threats, and that's what we're committed to doing. I was a little disappointed yesterday and read that there's a lawsuit holding up our Rikers Island memorandum of understanding where it lets federal agents in Rikers Island to do more of what you see in front of you. Identifying terrorists, TDA members, MS-13 members are in custody of Rikers Island. When they're done, they'll hand over to ICE and we can do more of the investigation, prosecution, and removal of these dangerous gangs. I hope the people who follow the lawsuit sees this press conference today, because what you see today is a result of collaboration between local and federal law enforcement. I'm thankful to NYPD for helping this investigation. HSI's, you've done an outstanding job. U.S. Marshals involved. This is what law enforcement is about. This is the result you get when cops work with cops. Bottom line, I think the judges, hopefully the judges watching, the judges hearing this lawsuit, that collaboration works. It keeps the city of New York safer. No one can argue. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. No one can argue what happened here in the last several months that resulted in 27 TDA being indicted. No one can argue that doesn't make the streets of New York safer. My home state. This is what we're all, everybody on the stage, we all want New York City to be even safer than it is today. And the way we do that, we remove public safety threats, especially national security threats, public safety threats out the street in New York. If they're in the country illegally, they commit a serious crime, they should not be free to roam the street. So the lawsuit basically says we want these type of people that we just indicted to walk out of Rikers Island every day, rather than working with ICE, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, work with federal law enforcement to help remove these public safety threat, illegal alien terrorists from the country. TDA, MS-13, but designated terrorist organizations, and that is our goal, to remove everyone from this country. President Trump's been clear. I support President Trump. He made a promise to America he's going to make this country safe again. And today you see one step, one small step, and many more steps to come to make this country safe and help Mayor Adams and the police commissioner in any way we can to rid this city of illegal alien public safety threats and national security threats. Now I want to introduce City of New York Mayor Adams.
Thank you so much, Board of Czar, and thank all of the men and women who put their lives on the front line every day, and really want to thank Special Agent in Charge, Acting Special Agent in Charge, McCormick, for your team. And as the Board of Czar stated, what's the mission of the presidential administration, I want to be clear on my mission. My mission is to rid every one of these dangerous gangs from our city. I'm unapologetic about it. That mission was pre-election. It's the same post-election. And every law enforcement agency on the city, state, and federal level is part of that partnership. And when you start to attack law enforcement agencies for doing their jobs, you're insulting the men and women who have placed their lives on the front line to address the issue. The question that we must answer, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of those who are carrying these illegal guns, wreaking havoc, sex trafficking, harming innocent people, regardless of their documentation? Or you're on the side of hard-working New Yorkers and Americans? I'm clear on which side I'm on. I'm on the side of those who are protected as a cop, state senator, borough president, and now the mayor of the city of New York. That's the side I'm on, and I'm clear on it. And I'm not apologizing for going after those who carry these illegal guns, wreaking havoc on communities. And so those who want to romanticize these characters and make it seem like they are here just to be part of the American dream is not doing armed robberies. The American dream is not discharging guns. The American dream is not shooting at police officers. The American dream is not going into homeless shelters and taking the documentations from innocent people and forcing them into sex trafficking. That's not the American dream. And we're not going to be a safe harbor for criminals. That's who this group is. And hats off to the entire team. Hats off to Homeland Security, HSI. Hats off to ICE. Hats off to NYPD. Hats off to the FBI. Hats off to those who are part of this collaboration to take dangerous people off our streets. Dangerous people. No regard for who they shoot at and what they do to carry out their actions. And today's gang takedown is another victory for safety and law enforcement in our city. The defendants include members of the notorious Tren de Aragua. And let me tell you something. I won't have a tequila drink with a gang member. I won't be hanging out with them and hugging them, acting like they are victims. They are not victims. They create victims by their actions. A transnational criminal gang based in Venezuela that has terrorized people in their own country and here in America. When I was telling the acting special agent in charge when I was in Ecuador, people were stating, we don't want to leave Ecuador, but we've been run out of Ecuador because of the gangs that are in our country. Then they came here, and you know what they saw? They saw some of the same gang members and representations as symbols of gang members. Speaking to the police commissioner this morning, we are amazed that we've been able to keep down crime at the level that we have been able to, and it's because we prevented them with our law enforcement federal partners in city and state. We prevented them from taking a stronghold and foothold in our city, and we're going to continue to do that. And as a former police officer, I was horrified and I was disgusted on January 27, 2024, when police officers, two NYPD police officers, were attacked in Times Square. That was a symbol of a total disregard for the law enforcement community of this country, not only of this city. The senseless assault on our officers kick-started the investigation we are talking about today. When I spoke with Chief Shell and Deputy Mayor Daughtry who was an assistant commissioner at the time, I said, this can't happen in our city. And we need to find everyone that's responsible for it. Because if you attack the symbol of public safety, a man or woman who's wearing that police uniform, you're attacking the stability of our country. And I said, find them and send a strong message. And today, we found them and we brought them to justice in the process. But this is just not about one incident. These gang members were trained to shoot and kill cops. Trained to shoot and kill cops. But it's more than their training. They carried out the actions. We saw in 115 precinct on June 3rd, 2024, one officer was shot in his bulletproof vest and the other in the leg. He was already indicted. The shooter was already indicted for that shooting in Queens County and now faces additional federal charge. The 27 people in these incidents, these indictments are accused of unbelievable criminal behavior. And they have been charged with firearm offenses, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking conspiracy, alien importation conspiracy, and drug trafficking conspiracy. They were forcing women into sex trafficking. Forcing them into sex trafficking. Thanks to this hard work of the NYPD, HSI, Violent Gang Task Force, and other federal partners, Tren de Aragua has never had a chance to take a foothold in this city.
Meanwhile,
Long day, we have arrived in El Salvador.
In personal videos posted on social media, a group of 4 House Democrats confirming their arrival in El Salvador.
I am here because I refuse to wait for something to happen.
The lawmakers making the trip Monday to demand the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
a few moments later.
But we got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government here locally.
I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
Because El Salvador is not playing the game of just because you're American and you come down here, we don't have to talk to you. This is an unofficial trip.
What do you know? Is there any chance you'll be meeting with Abrego Garcia while you're there?
Well, we're actually about to do a press conference to speak a little bit about this, but we got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government here locally. They say it's because we're not here on an official capacity. This is part of the reason why Representative Robert Garcia and I sent a letter to Chairman Comer of the Oversight Committee asking for this to be an official CODEL. But we're not giving up. We're going to continue. We have more meetings scheduled for the rest of the day. But part of this, too, is making sure that we keep the conversation alive. We're building off of the trip of Senator Van Hollen, and we're not the first members here, and we're not going to be the last.
Which, by the way, is bad news for me and you. Not only is this embarrassing for America, but this means we have to keep making videos about this topic, and I'm really ready to move on. But speaking of that letter, of the official letter that they did not receive as far as an official trip down in El Salvador, I already made a video on this previously, but I'll just give you guys the cliff notes. If you also wish to meet with him, you can spend your own money, but I will not approve a single dime of taxpayer funds for use on the excursion you have requested. Your request is denied. This is from the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. So
boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.